You have outgrown that success and you are yearning for something more. And let me say this, when your identity evolves, your career should evolve with it. Welcome to Create Your Own Economy with Bunmi Ajibade, the podcast that empowers corporate professionals ready to break free and transition into entrepreneurship with confidence and clarity, as well as business owners looking to grow and scale their businesses. If you're exhausted from building other people's dreams, leaving you little time or energy to focus on what truly matters to you, you are in the right place. Each week, we provide actionable strategies, expert interviews, and real-life success stories to help you turn your ideas into thriving business. Ready to take bold, clear steps toward life and business you deserve? Let's get started. There comes a time when the work you do stops matching who you are becoming. There's no burnout, there's no frustration, but there's something deeper within you that you feel that there's a shift. If you feel that, this episode is your mirror, because you do well on paper, you are successful, your job is good income, very many perks that you are happy about, good reputation in your industry, but there's something that keeps whispering to you that, look, there is more. So today is an encouragement and a support for you to stop ignoring that whisper, that nudge, and also show you where to go from there. So welcome to Create Your Own Economy. I am Bunmi Ajibade, your catalyst for 9-to-5 professionals becoming entrepreneurs. See, that nudge, that feeling does not come like neon line flashing and grabbing your attention. It could be a moment, that moment that you know could be a moment that you are alone. It could be a time during a meeting you've attended hundreds of times, but that time you just have ideas, you are writing things down, things that you are writing in your note, they really don't pertain to the meeting, has nothing to do with the meeting where you are present. It can even be during maybe when you are in church. It could be when you are taking a shower or when you are in your bathtub. It could be any time, and it is subtle. It is just little bitty thing nudging you inside you in your guts. And I'm talking about those internal signs that precedes a business plan. You don't have a business plan. There is no LLC. There is no savings plan. You are not even thinking about a business. And those feelings, those quiet moments that really tell you that you are in for something more than where you are. The moment you know, the signs that you are ready to become an entrepreneur. And the ones that tell you that there's a bigger assignment waiting for you, a bigger assignment that is bigger than your current address, your current job description, or even your current assignment on your job. That is what we are talking about today. So let me go in and really talk about just three things quickly that will really help you to say, yes, I know there's something bigger. I know I'm working with something really, really bigger. And the first thing is your internal shift. Internal shift. That comes before anything else. And that is really the difference between dissatisfaction and misalignment, where dissatisfaction says, I don't like this place. I don't like Monday. I don't like my co-workers. I don't want to be here. Misalignment, on the other end, is saying, I have become somebody that this place can no longer hold. I have grown. I have outgrown my cubicle. I have outgrown my job description. And this doesn't mean that you're unhappy. You might be very happy with everything that you are given on your job, with your job description, with your team members. And I have worked with so many entrepreneurs that they love the team they work with. They are not thinking of leaving because things were bad, but they want to leave because they have outgrown the container. They have outgrown that job, the 9 to 5, which has been a container that has been limiting them from becoming who they have grown to be. Now, as a successful person on your job, you're a high performer. You are successful, but you are stuck. So you are performing very well, but you still feel that there's something that is not making you to be alive. And that moment when your identity, the identity that you have, outgrows the job description, it is when you get into work and you are technically present. You are present, right? But your mind keeps building something else. Your mind keeps nudging you into something else. You are solving problems in your industry that nobody is paying you for. You are the go-to person that people will come to whenever they need something, whenever they're not going to HR, they're not going to your boss. They come to you for clarity that is even above your pay grade. That is not distraction. That is activation of something that is bigger on the inside. The internal shift, when your values start pulling you towards ownership, autonomy, and impact. That internal shift that is not ready to accept only success based on what your job has described. That internal shift that is looking at significance over success. That internal shift that is pulling you towards a new direction. And that is not ingratitude. You are grateful to where you are, to what you have been given, to what you have worked for, to the success you have achieved, but you have outgrown that success and you are yearning for something more. And let me say this, when your identity evolves, your career should evolve with it. And what it means is that you need to lead toward that evolution, or you can wait for circumstances to force it on you. And when circumstances force it on you, there will be a reason why you might lose your job. There will be a reason why things will just begin to fall apart. That is when circumstances really force you to leave your identity. The second thing I want you to think about is the external signs. What are some of the external signs that the moment is right? That the moment is now? What are the external things that you should look for? When you begin to solve problems outside your job, and this is what some of my clients tell me, because they just see themselves solving even other problems that is not within their job, and people are comfortable with them coming to them to get clarity on issues. And this is to say that entrepreneurship really starts long before you call it that, because you're already living it, because the moment is already inside of you. You just need to bring it out to the surface. People come to you for clarity, for strategies, for transformation, and you begin to build systems, frameworks, ideas in your note. And I want to ask this: do you have notes on your phone where you drop ideas, or you even have journals? I have a very good friend of mine. She has kept journals, I'm sure, for the past 20 or 25 years. And she just keeps writing. At times, she feels that she needs to write, and she feels writing. And then she says, I don't know what business I'm supposed to do. I'm not really sure. Hello? Yes, you are. Because in those journals or the notes on your phone that you have ideas, that you just write things, in that note is your assignment. In that note is the calling that you have, and nobody else has seen it, but you have, and they're in your note. So what are some of the things in your note, the framework, the different things that you have written in your note? Because the business, being an entrepreneur, starts way before you give a name to that business. It might be actually in your note, in your journal. And also, another external sign is when you crave mastery, not just promotion. You are known, that promotion is good, but it doesn't do anything for you again. The next title, the next big project, the ladder, being the VP on your job, the next interview, that doesn't really get you excited anymore. You are thinking about your vision. You are thinking about who you are. You are thinking in terms of legacy, not ladder climbing. What legacy will you leave behind? When you are done, what will you be remembered for? When you begin to write down and the metrics to get that done, then you are on your way to something big. Now, entrepreneurship often starts as a pattern. You should begin to write that down. You should begin to think about the pattern of your thoughts, what they're saying to you. So entrepreneurship begins as a pattern long before it becomes a plan, long before you have a business plan. And your job right now is to stop dismissing that pattern, to stop dismissing that internal nudge that you are getting. And we need to do something about that whisper in your spirit, in your guts. And the third thing I want to say about this, talking about the moment the signs that you are ready to become an entrepreneur, the third thing I want you to think about is your readiness indicator. So this is where most people miss it. This is what gets people to keep thinking and to keep putting it off. I will do it in 10 years or someday, and that day doesn't come. Or I will do it when I'm really certain of exactly what I'm supposed to do. But when you think about certainty, it is a myth, because anybody who has built anything of value, any successful business, they don't have everything figured out. No, they don't. They did it because they have decided to align with that internal nudge, that internal whisper in their spirit that there is something big. They don't have everything figured out, but they chose to go for what works for them. They chose to go for that eternal nudge that they know that this is not just me. I need to do this because it just keeps coming. It keeps coming to them. The readiness indicator. 1, you are no longer motivated by titles. You want ownership. You want to be in charge. You want to be your own boss. You want to do those things that you know are right, that will make your spirit happy, that will make your spirit glow. Then when you are willing to learn and unlearn some things, and you are willing to build something that you'll be proud of, you are willing to start from the beginning. I know as somebody in a corporate job, you have title and all that. There might be some pride there that, how do I want to start from the beginning? Yeah, but when you are willing to learn and you are willing to start from the beginning, going towards a new lane, or it might even be the lane, the industry where you are in. This is not a weakness. When you know that you are matured, you have grown, that is an indicator. The third indicator is that you are ready to trade certainty, to trade the security of your paycheck for the alignment of who you are created to be. Look, there's no guarantee in life, because even that paycheck that is giving you security right now could be taken any time from you. Because, even right now, jobs are being lost every day in the world, in the whole world. So you can start to trade, you can start to work right now, even while you are on your job. You don't have to wait until you are forced out or until you are ready. You can be doing it, you can be planning it while you are still employed. And the fourth readiness is when you create a business that reflects your story. It reflects your values, your voice, who you are. You want, you don't want to be a copy of someone else's blueprint. You actually want to own your own blueprint. You want to own your own assignment. You want to own your own calling. And also the third indicator is that you are not running from your job, but you are running towards your calling. That's why when people come to me when I'm working with professionals, I always ask them, why do you want to leave your job? Why do you think it is time? Because they have to know why. Are they running away from their job because they feel that it's just too much work? Why? Because when you run from the job and you run toward a calling, it doesn't mean that it's going to be free of stress or work, but that you are running towards something that fulfills who you are. So readiness is not about having everything figured out, but is about unwilling to keep ignoring what you already know. You cannot keep ignoring what you know. So now this is the question I want you to really take time to answer as you listen to this podcast. If you knew you couldn't fail and didn't need the money, what would you build? Let me say it in another way. If you knew you couldn't fail and didn't need the money, would you still build that business you are thinking about? If your answer is yes, then it means that you are being pulled towards your purpose, towards your calling, towards your assignment. If you have just a little bit of hesitation, that means we need to do some clarity work first, because whether you say yes or you have hesitation, there's no wrong answer. But one of them is ready to build. And that is when you say yes, then you are ready to build. Now, what is the pattern telling you? What is your internal nudging telling you? Are you just waking up to an idea, or are you clear on what you want to do? Because whatever your answer is still a beginning to start listening to your spirit, or a beginning to take an action. Just take an action right now. Now, I want to invite you to a free resource that I have that can really help you to figure out where you are on in this journey. So you can take the free entrepreneurial journey assessment, and the link will be in the show notes. There are 12 questions for you. It take you about 5 minutes, and it will tell you exactly where you are in the journey. Either you are exploring, or you are ready to build, or you are ready to launch, or you already done all the first 3 and you are ready to scale the business. And also, if this episode has confirmed that you'll be feeling something in you and you really want to move in the next 30 days, I want you to check the link and you look at the Conversation Bible, where a place for you to start that conversation. I'm not encouraging you to quit before you are ready, but I want to give you a system that will really help you to build while you are still on your job. And if you have somebody who has been telling you, I have an idea, I don't know what to do, and you keep hearing that, send them this episode, and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you for tuning in to Create Your Own Economy with Bunmi Ajibade. I hope this episode gave you the clarity and inspiration to take the next step in your entrepreneurial journey. If you're a corporate professional feeling stuck or unfulfilled, and you are thinking about starting your own business, but find yourself asking, how, what, where, who, or when, I invite you to download my special curated guide, Transition from Corporate Professional to Entrepreneur, the 10-step guide for success. This guide is designed to make your transition smoother and less stressful. Afterward, schedule a clarity call to map out your personalized success path. We invite you to write a review, like, and share this episode with anyone who needs this information. See you in the next episode.